Hi everybody, this is Agnes from Sediment, and today we're going to talk about wine pairing for 5 traditional Christmas dishes. Although Christmas traditions differ around the world, usually food served at Christmas dinner is hearty and flavorsome, and most of these dishes can be paired beautifully with wine. In this video, I will look at wine pairings for traditional Christmas dishes of my region, which is Baltic and Nordic countries. But most of these foods in different variations are served during Christmas around the world. So let's start. Roasted poultry is usually a crowd pleaser at the Christmas dinner. Flavors of roasted turkey can greatly depend on the stuffing and rub. But nevertheless, you can easily pair it with white wine, such as Chardonnay or Viognier, or fresh and zesty red wines, such as Chianti Classico or fresh Merlot. When it comes to goose or duck, these birds tend to have gamey flavors, so red wine would be more appropriate. Goose is leaner, therefore richer red wine would work well, while duck can be quite fatty, requiring wine with elevated acidity to refreshen the palate. The classical match for duck is Pinot Noir, as it has nice acidity, gentle tannins, and the greatest examples will match those earthy flavors of the duck. But you can also go for lighter style Chianti or not too much extracted Barbera from Piemonte. Gingerbread cookies. These can be quite different in each country. We make them from honey, butter, caramelized sugar, and mix of spices that include cinnamon, nutmeg, orange peel, cloves, black pepper, and of course, ginger. It is a sweet and spicy, crunchy cookie that sometimes is decorated with colorful sugar glaze. If you're not a fan of sweets, still this Christmas treat is worth of baking, as it will fill your home with warm Christmas flavors. But what wine should you choose with gingerbread cookies? Well, as this is more like a snack that you can have throughout the day, you can have them with coffee or tea, or if it's an evening, you can have it with Pedro Ximénez, the sticky, beautiful Pedro Ximénez. These wines are rich and full and show similar aroma profile as gingerbread cookies with a lot of spices and dried fruits. You can even dip these cookies in the wine. Roasted pork cut. Well, this is not the most traditional Christmas dish in Latvia. Some kind of roasted pork, its leg, belly, or even stuffed roulade is quite common Christmas food to be served on the table. You can add different spices, marinades, and flavors. Sometimes pork can even be sweet, especially if it is glazed with honey or cooked in cider or with apples. For a traditional roasted pork belly, I would go for Riesling. What? White wine and so pure and delicate for pork? Now hear me out, I will explain myself. Pork belly is a fatty dish and you will need that acidity to refreshen the palate. Riesling has it. If the pork has some sweetness coming from glaze or apples, let's say, choose Riesling with some sweetness. It will complement these flavors and the wine will not seem dull or plain. And more importantly, if you choose to go spicy, Riesling will also be there for you. It usually develops alcohol levels on the lower side, and you want to look wines with lower levels of alcohol to pair with your spicy dishes. Some sweetness will also help here. Here, I have spoken. Salmon GRAVLAX or cured salmon. Well, this is not specifically a Christmas food. I have made it for the past several Christmases. There are many recipes out there, but all involve a great deal of salt and spices. I make it with fresh beetroot, and over 24-hour curing process, salmon gets this beautiful pinkish color and also gains some flavors of the beetroot that are slightly sweet, altogether creating this perfect balance. Salmon is a fatty fish, so you want to look for white wine with fresh and zesty acidity to refresh the palate. The salty character of the fish will make any wine seem more rounder and complex, therefore Muscadet from Loire Valley in France could be perfect. But if you want to go fancier, choose Rosé Champagne. It will have the acidity and freshness, and those delicate red forest berries will complement nicely slight sweetness coming from the beetroot. Bacon buns, or piragi, or piradziņi, how we call it here in Latvia. Pierogi is a must for every traditional Christmas table in my region. They can be filled with smoked bacon, traditional style, or with sautéed cabbage, mushroom duxelle, or potatoes. Wine choice, of course, will depend on the filling. And since the best pierogi, no matter what the filling, are packed with full and expressive flavors, you want to look for juicy and flavorsome red wine. First that comes to my mind is Beaujolais Cru. This wine has enough body, structure, and fruit to be not overpowered by the rich flavors of the BUNS, but they also have great deal of freshness and juiciness to lift the palate. These are some of the dishes that I associate with Christmas. What are the traditional dishes in your country? Please comment below, I'm very curious about that. And Merry Christmas to you all!